Greetings. Today I want to speak to you concerning the perfect law, which is the law of liberty. And this law of liberty is what would definitely set you free. Now, we all grew up to know about judiciary laws that have been set in our society, but very few people knows about the law of liberty. And so when we look at the relationship between Neville Goddard and his mentor Abdullah, the black mystic from Ethiopia, we saw how Abdullah taught Neville the law of liberty and how he must apply the law of liberty in his life to set him free. And this law of liberty is written in the Bible also. And for you to really have the right understanding of how it's supposed to be applied in your life, it is very important for you to know that the Bible is a book of mind science, that the Bible is not a religious book or a book of morality, but most of all, it is to teach you how to understand your mentality and how your mentality is what is creating your reality. That's the reason why you're told, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So in this law of liberty that you must look into to set you free is written in James, I think James chapter 1, okay, and verses 25 around there, but you can read the whole of James chapter 1 and you'll see where he's telling you about this law of liberty. And in Neville's case, he applied the law of liberty when he was in the army and he was denied his freedom from the army in terms of he wanted was to get out of the army, and he applied to get out of the army and his application was disapproved. But he looked into the law of liberty. And in that law of liberty is where he trusts his imagination. And he used his imagination to create his reality. And a voice spoke to him and said, "What I've done, do nothing." And that voice that spoke to him showed him the same form that he filled out that says denied. We see it's been erased and he's been given the permission. Okay? And all of that is to show you that you must become a doer and not just a hearer of the word. Because when you hear the word, it brings faith. Because those who are bringing the word to you are bringing the words of encouragement and enlightenment to help to activate that inner power. That power of faith, which is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, the picture that you hold in your mind that no one can see. Whatever you have in your imagination, it's taking place in the invisible realm. So the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. But you're told that as long as you believe and you become a doer, that what was done in secret will be made known for all to see. Which is showing you that when you operate in the law of liberty, you'll be vindicated outwardly because you're trusting in a greater law than the judiciary law in every nation. Because these laws that has been set up by our governmental system, they can all be twisted to fit certain people. But there are universal laws that governs all of humanity. And the greatest law is the law of liberty, is the law of belief, where you have belief in yourself, which is your higher self, your divine self, your infinite self, your true essence. That is why, my brothers and my sisters, my encouragement to you, as Abdullah really encouraged Neville also, was to love himself and to believe in himself and never to worship any God or any Savior, any Redeemer outside of yourself. Everything is within. For the kingdom of God is within you. And this entire universe is all mental. For everything was first a thought. Everything was first an idea. Everything was first imagined. And you're told in St. John 1 and 3 that all things were made by him. And without him was not anything made that was made. And I'm saying to you that him is not speaking of a man 2,000 years ago. That him is just a personification that represents the human imagination. Therefore, when you trust the human imagination, you're operating in the law of liberty, because you have become a doer, as I've said before. When you practice things like visualization, meditation, scripting, journaling, mirror work, when you do all these things because you trust the power that is within you, you believe in that power that is within you, which is your God power that you can use to achieve your every desire. You do not depend on anyone, and no one can take that power away from you. Because, for example, I cannot have a thought for you, and you cannot have a thought for me. And that's your power. And that is why the power of choice is the greatest power anyone can possess. And when you deny that power of choice, like what is happening right now, where people are choosing a lifestyle instead of life. Because wherever there is life, there is hope. You always have hope, whereby whatever you lost, you can regain them, as long as you keep that power of choice. And when you lose that, it's the worst form of slavery. And that is what's happening right now on the planet. And many people are missing it. And it's a mark of ownership where others actually own you because you give them the right to own you. And many people are doing it ignorantly in this time. And instead they operate under their power, which is actually the nine power, they're giving it away to another because they're trying to secure themselves. So my brother, my sisters, I just want to encourage you with these few words: to love yourself, to believe in yourself, and to always apply the law of liberty, which is the law of action, the law of belief. And this belief must be in your higher self, your God self, your creative self, your imaginative self, because there's no greater power than the power that you can use to achieve your every desire. That is God in man, and there's no other God. God is not a man in the sky. God is the very life that is within this body, for your spirit having a human experience. So embrace your God self and believe in your God self. Trust your God self and do it by the actions that you would allow in your life, and that will prove definitely that you're walking in the law of liberty, whereby you must and will always be set free. So with that being said, my brother and my sisters, I just want to say to you, continue to practice everything that has been taught by Neville and the many other teachers that is teaching you to believe in your higher self, because real salvation is actually self-realization. And when you come to self-realization, you will realize that there's no one to change but yourself. You will also realize that you are the authority of your own life. You will realize that you're the Lord and Master of your destiny, and that you can create your life how you want it to be. But you have to be a doer and not just a hearer. You can't deceive yourself being superstitious and religious. Your life must be a productive life. Your life must be a life that is of value to the rest of humanity. And that is how you will feel free. That is how you will feel accomplished. That is how you will attain true happiness. True happiness can never be found on the outside. True happiness can only be found on the inside. So set your life how you want it to be, and let your light so shine before the world that the world will behold your good works. Because that's how you know your faith, by your works. Action speaks louder than words. Be the actor in your own movie. Be the director. Be the producer in your own movie, because you are playing the starring role. And when you do that, you are applying the law of liberty, whereby you are being set free. So, with that being said, my brother, my sister, I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you listen to me, and what I'm saying is inspiring to you, really resonating with you, and you haven't subscribed already, I encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, to share this video. Also, if you haven't started following me as yet on Instagram, I'll encourage you to follow me on Instagram at Black Mad Guru. Also, if you feel strongly led to support this work because you've been inspired and blessed by this work, feel free to do so by checking out the link that is down below. We have a PayPal link, and feel free to check it out if you feel strongly led to do so. Also, I just want to mention that we have a Patreon, and that platform has a lot of good information that will help you to grow and to expand also. And I want to make mention of a course that I have there called the Inner Sound Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously, or the Inner Sound Engineering to Create Your Reality Consciously. And it's for people who are donating at least $20 or more. That course is to help you to align yourself with nature, align yourself with the sun that is above you and the sun that is within you, which is the light that is within you. For you're told that the sun of righteousness shall arise in you with healing in his wings. And when that sun or that light is risen in you, it will bring you in purpose, it will bring you in alignment, and you would use your life to bless the rest of humanity, because you'll be walking in purpose. So get in true alignment. If you feel led to check out this course, feel free to do so. So with that being said, my brother, my sister, I want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.